Very good afternoon to everyone. So, I am presenting my paper on that optimization of process parameter analysis of friction drilling on mild steel and aluminum 1008 by using a rotating conical tool. So these are the contents of my topic, that is introduction, literature survey, proposed problem statement, objective, experimental calculation, conclusion, and the references. So initially I will just talk about the friction drilling. What is that friction drilling? How it is differ from that twist drilling? So here we have formed that conical tool. So with the help of that conical tool, we are doing the friction drilling. So with the help of the friction generated between the tool and the workpiece, so because of that heat generation, that workpiece is in a plastic stage and will get the hole without formation of the chip and will get the bush and the bush. So the whatever that thickness of the bush is there, so that will be used for next step for that form threading also. So that is the one of the best benefit for that friction drilling that usually right now it is widely used in the industries. So means there is no need to have the separate another arrangement for the bushing and to do the threading. Now again we are working on that thread forming tool also. Directly with the help of the that drilling we can form the threading also in a single that stage. So these are the information. No lubricant is required for that drilling process, as it is a means that chipless process, and whatever that heat generated between the tool and the workpiece. So means during that friction drilling process. So that is the one of the most important thing. That also one of the parameter we all consider for the analysis purpose, that microstructural variation of that tool and the workpiece. So this is the frictional drilling steps. So how the initiation of the drilling can be take place. So initially that conical tool comes in contact with the workpiece, and because of the main thrust stage, the tool get penetrate through the workpiece, and because of that high axial force encountered, the friction force in contact with the surface produces heat and this soften the work material, and material separation stage comes into picture, and because of that the tool penetrates through the workpiece and makes the hole with the naturally formed bush. So these are the processes how actually we can carry out that friction drilling process. So this is the conical that conical drilling tool. So it consists of the center region, conical region, bush region, then shoulder region, and the shank region. These are the different regions are there. With the help of that, we generally do the drilling. So the usually the if the thickness of the material is T, and if we are doing the friction drilling, so normally it is observed that 3 times of the thickness we are getting the bush. So this is the first stage, this is the second, this is third. So here is the final stage, that is boss and the bush we are getting, and this is the form tool we are just miss in next future study we are working on that. So these are the comparison. I'm not again discussing on this, already I discussed. So comparison between the friction drilling and the twist drilling. These are the applications of the friction drilling, having the wide range of application in the industrial sector, in the biomedical sectors, and in the thermal areas also. So these are the heat exchanger applications where there is a requirement of the Bosch and the Bush, so that usually we get with the help of the friction drilling. These are the automobile sector applications. So these are the biomedical sector applications where usually we need the such type of friction drilling process. So I referred the some of these papers based on the friction drilling process, and these are the some of the papers in this paper. So most of the authors refers the that means whatever that material they are referred, so based on that material they have done the experimentation. So in this paper they have just formed the metal matrix composite, and on that they have done the experimentation, and with the help of that they have formed that function, that is RA equal to this function they have formed in this paper. So, and they have done the parameter analysis in this paper. Then next paper, this is another, that is the Scott F. Miller presented this paper. They have done the friction drilling on the cast metal. So usually it is seen in this paper that after doing the friction drilling on the cast metal, so whatever that formation of the bush and the boss is there, that is not in a proper shape. So the petal formation of the bush and the boss can be seen. It is observed in this such type of metal. So that study they have shown in this paper. And this is the next paper, that is based on the optimization, that this paper is helpful for me to do the my that research work, that is optimization of the that friction drilling parameter by using the Taguchi method. So in my study also I use the Taguchi method, whatever the table I have designed with the help of the Taguchi method. And so to check the significant parameter, which is the more significant parameter which is influencing in my study, so for that purpose I use the that SN ratio. So in this parameter, in this paper, they have used that parameter, parameter. Further they have used in the calculation at the end. They have concluded short machining cycle and the whole quality they have checked in this paper. Based on the input responses, they have checked the sum of the output responses. They have considered the sum of the responses, and based on that they have analyzed. And then later on they have optimized the input parameter, and again they have checked the output responses. So this is the another paper. The author analyzed the different parameters during the friction drilling, like bush quality, surface temperature. Means again they have analyzed with the help of the input parameters by just changing the some of the input parameters, and depends upon that they have checked the responses. So wherever they found the some of the variations, they have recorded and they have done the further study on that. So this is another paper that is based on the again optimization, that in this paper in they have selected these input responses like a tool diameter, feed, and the speed, and accordingly they have uh, they have checked the responses like dimensional errors, then statistical analysis, and they have developed the empirical model for the responses. So this is another paper that is the based on the tool wear in the friction drilling. So in this paper they have chosen the many tools with the different diameters, and after the drilling, so they have checked that how much tool wear take place for the each and every tool, and with the help of the CMM they have checked their shape and size of that tool, and accordingly they have concluded the things. So next is the that microstructural alteration. Means as I told you that during the friction drilling process, high heat is developed between the tool and the workpiece. Because of that, the microstructural alteration take place, and to measure that, for that purpose, we have to do the that microstructural scanning of the workpiece and the tool, so that we can check their properties. So that things studied in this paper. Then this is the next that literature survey, that is some investigation in the friction drilling using the here they have again done the optimization with the help of the high speed tool. These are the my just proposed problem statement. So based on that, I work on this paper. So these are the project objectives. Uh, So to conduct the experimentation by using the friction drilling process over the different material I initially considered, but later on I to do the initial study of this paper. For that purpose, I chosen that MS in the aluminum. So this is the tool that already I just discussed regarding the that geometrical study of the tool, that is the center region, conical region, cylindrical, shoulder, and the shank. So these the center region plays an important role while creating the friction between the tool and the workpiece. And conical, with the help of the conical region, we can form the bush, uh, and the cylindrical region supports the bush. With the help of the shoulder region, we can form the boss. So these are the tool essential which are required while doing the friction drilling. And this is the vertical machining center. with the help of this vertical machining center, we have carried out the experimentation. So these are the some of the input parameters we initially considered. These are the output responses. We have just more number of responses we have considered, but initially for the initial trial we have selected 2-3 responses and done the study. So these are the some of the instruments required for the response measurement. That is to measure the temperature. We use the infrared pyrometer to measure the hardness, that is Vickers hardness test, and to measure the microstructural alteration, that microscope we have to be used. This is the experimental table. So whatever that experimentation we have carried out with the help of that L18 table. So Taguchi L18 table we have used. Accordingly, we have designed the table, and accordingly we have set the speed and the feed, and we have done the material variations. The one number is the mild steel and two number is the aluminum. And by the variation of the speed and the feed, we have calculated the responses like temperature, bush length, and the hardness. So that all the readings we have taken, and that we have shown in this table. So as earlier I have told you about that parameter optimization. So carried out that Hessian ratio, so which is the significant parameter which is affecting during the first trial, second trial. For that purpose, use use that Hessian ratio, and with the help of that, we check that which is the significant for this image. The temperature is the most significant parameter, and accordingly we have optimized the parameters. So the same case for the bush length, and the next is the same length for same case for the hardness. So likewise, we have optimized the parameter. Finally, we got the summary of these optimum conditions. So that I have shown in this table for the each and every trial. So and by with the help of the Hessian ratio, these are the responses, that is temperature, bush length, and the hardness. So that initially we have considered during the initial trial, and these are the optimum parameters we have got. Then we have used the LPP software, that is linear programming. So with the help of that linear programming, we have set the objective, and with the help of that objective, so we have done the that variation of the input parameter for the purpose of the optimization. So we are, our main objective is to optimize the objective function. For that purpose, just we have done the trial on this LPP, so that how we can get the results for the input parameters. For the temperature we have done, for the hardness, and this is the conclusion during the comparative study. So the optimum parameter setting found according to the Taguchi analysis, so that values we have shown here. Then for temperature, bush length, and the that hardness respectively, the maximum temperature got for material A is the 480 degrees Celsius, and for B it is slightly less than that of the first material. Then maximum bush length also for the material A is we got after the that number of trials, that is the for A material is 10.42 and for B material is 11.02, and the maximum hardness for A is 55 HP and for material B is it is 139 HP. The major factor that factors with their percentage contributions with the effect of temperature, bush length, and the hardness are: speed is the 95% is more affecting than that of the all other input parameters like feed and the materials. So that is the another conclusions we have made it. And separate equations for each temperature, hardness, and the bush length depends upon the material type have been derived in order to judge their performance in the friction drilling operations. So with the help of the regression analysis, we have found out these temperatures, means what is the effect of input parameter on the temperature, what is the effect of that input parameter on the hardness and the bush length. So such type of equations we have found out with the help of the that regression equation. So this is all about that my presentation, and these are the references. Thank you. Thank you.
Any question?
Hello.
Yes.
So which parameter is the most influencing parameter in the friction drilling process?
Speed, sir, speed is the most influencing parameter that we have noted during our study. So that I have mentioned in this conclusion also, that is the 95% speed is the more influencing than that of the material and the feed.
Okay. What about the hardness, surface hardness and surface finish?
So as the more heat is generated during the friction drilling process, so because of that, the hardness of the material is changing. So that we have calculated, and so the percentage of the effectiveness of the hardness is near about that is means it is not more than that, but slightly variation in hardness is found, depends upon the material, sir. And the surface finish is quite good than that of the twist drilling. So that we have observed, and with the help of the CMM, we have checked that surface finish for the some of the materials.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for
you.
sharing
Thank
your reflective knowledge with us.